Del Toro finally dropped his Frankenstein flick, and let me tell you, it's a visual feast. Oscar Isaac plays Victor Frankenstein, this egotistical surgeon whose ambition is just total poison, and Jacob Elordi is the creature, who, by the way, gives a ridiculously strong, empathetic performance under all that makeup. Set against the gritty backdrop of the Crimean War, this movie uses the era to really lean into the Gothic horror and science fiction elements, exploring massive themes of ambition, industrial greed, and, obviously, the whole playing God thing. It's a bold take, almost operatic in scope, and the production design is an absolute killer. Now, a heads up. It's a Guillermo del Toro movie, so some of you might find the gore and the sheer density of the narrative a bit of a challenge. It's a slow burn, not a jump scare fest. Think of it as a darker, more lavish cousin to Crimson Peak, mixed with the philosophical dread of Blade Runner. This one is a must-watch for fans of deep atmospheric horror, and anyone who appreciates cinema that asks big, uncomfortable questions. Next up, we've got a historical drama punches way above its weight. Death by Lightning. This is the wild, true story of James A. Garfield's presidency and his assassination by the completely bonkers Charles J. Guiteau. Michael Shannon as Garfield is fantastic. You feel the weight of his brief time in office, but the real showstopper is Matthew Macfadyen as Guiteau. He's terrifyingly compelling, giving a performance that rivals his work in Succession, but with a far darker, unhinged energy. The series brilliantly unpacks the political rot, civil rights issues, and the horrific medical malpractice of the 1880s. Now, since the story is a historical fact, you know the ending, so it lacks that surprising twist of a fictional thriller. However, the series treats its source material like a gritty political potboiler, feeling more like a prestige version of a John Grisham novel, or a political spin on the Knick. If you're into intense, character-driven political thrillers, and you're hungry for Oscar-worthy acting, you need to binge this immediately. Dropping soon on November 13th is The Beast in Me, and y'all, this psychological thriller miniseries has got mood for days. You've got Claire Danes playing Aggie Wiggs, a grieving, celebrated author who gets completely obsessed with her enigmatic new neighbor, Niall Jarvis, played by Matthew Rhys. And who can blame her? He was the prime suspect in his wife's disappearance. The premise is a pure cat-and-mouse game, exploring the emotional complexity of grief and the blurry line between suspicion and truth. With Antonio Campos, the guy behind The Devil All the Time, directing, and Howard Gordon as showrunner, the pedigree is stellar. My expectation management note here is that while the show is emotionally rich, it might lean on some familiar thriller tropes. We've seen the neighbor hiding a dark secret flick before. But with this cast, it's bound to be a masterclass in tension and performance, giving off serious Gone Girl vibes mixed with the intensity of The Undoing. Highly recommend for anyone who loves dark, twisty domestic thrillers. Okay, switching gears for a total historical gem, Mrs. Playmen. This Italian series is based on the incredible true story of Adelina Tatilo, who in the 1970s took over her husband's failing erotic magazine and turned it into Italy's first massive success of its kind. Carolina Crescentini looks absolutely electric as Adelina, navigating a world of rigid societal taboos while fighting for a cultural revolution. It's a powerful exploration of feminism and media during the post-war era. It's coming November 12th, and I'm buzzing for the stylish 70s aesthetics and the sheer boldness of the story. The potential drawback, based on early buzz, is that the dramatization might occasionally feel a little heavy-handed, perhaps sacrificing some of the true grit of Tatilo's battle against hypocrisy for high-octane drama. Still, if you loved the political and cultural upheaval captured in shows like Narcos or anything about the counterculture movement, this is your jam. If y'all missed the Vince Staples Show Season 2 when it dropped, fix that right now. Vince Staples is back, and his brand of surreal, satirical, and genuinely chaotic comedy is still unmatched. Following a tragic loss, the new season finds Vince on a completely messy quest for inner peace, even as his troubled past hilariously, and sometimes sadly, keeps showing up on his doorstep. The new 6-episode run, with the excellent Vanessa Bell Calloway and Nate Jones returning, is a unique, often brilliant look at everyday existential dread. It's an innovative concept that only Vince Staples could pull off. My one critique, having seen it, is that Season 2 feels slightly less tightly constructed than the debut. The focus is a little broader, which dilutes the razor-sharp impact of some earlier episodes. Think of it as a less self-aware, more chaotic version of Donald Glover's Atlanta. If you're a fan of comedy that makes you think, or if you just love the rapper's dry wit, this show remains a total blast. You want to talk action? Get ready for The Last Samurai Standing, dropping November 13th. This Japanese series is going to be a brutal, large-scale battle royale set in 1878 during the Meiji period. 292 samurai gather to fight for a 100 billion yen prize in a deadly tag-stealing competition, with the winner being the last one standing to reach Tokyo. Our protagonist, Shujiro Saga, is fighting to save his sick family, which gives it that huge emotional core. The blend of emotional stakes with massive wuxia-style action is what has me so hyped, and I'm expecting incredible, meticulously choreographed fight sequences. The potential drawback is that the survival game trope has been hammered lately, so the plot structure might feel a little predictable. But I'm willing to overlook that for the promise of high-stakes historical combat. If you're a fan of the sheer scope of Game of Thrones mixed with the high-octane survival game of Squid Game, this is your flick. Coming November 21st, we're getting a quieter, more intimate story with Train Dreams, directed by Clint Bentley and starring the always great Joel Edgerton and Felicity Jones. Adapted from Dennis Johnson's novella, this is a gorgeous American drama about a working-class man, Robert Grenier, navigating the fading industrial American West, focusing on his life, love, and loss. I'm expecting some seriously beautiful cinematography that captures the grandeur of a bygone era, making the environment almost a character itself. The cast alone, also featuring William H. Macy, is enough to get me on board. This is probably not a fast-paced thriller. It's an understated, intimate story, and for some viewers, that quiet pace might feel a little too slow or emotionally restrained. If you appreciate films that are more about mood, character study, and stunning visuals, think a more rugged Western version of Nomadland or the quiet depth of The Power of the Dog, then this drama is a total watch. Okay, y'all knew what was coming. The #1 spot is, of course, the beginning of the end. Stranger Things Season 5, Part 1, dropping November 26th. Hawkins is scarred, the group is finally united, and the mission is simple: kill Vecna. They are bringing the pain, but the government's military quarantine and the hunt for Eleven are going to complicate everything. The Duffer Brothers have promised to reveal the true nature of the Upside Down and tie up the main arcs, which is what we've been waiting for. I am hyped for the return to 1987 and the sheer scope. Now, if I have to nitpick a little, I'd say the plot complexity, with all the government and military forces, might feel a little overwrought or convoluted as they try to land the plane, and this might be a massive, required end to the saga. If you've made it this far, you don't need me to sell you. This is the biggest drop of the month. A required watch for everyone who loves sci-fi, horror, and a good dose of 80s nostalgia. Alright, this is a stacked list. Seriously, November is putting in work. Drop a comment below and let me know which flick or series you're adding to your queue right now. If you got value out of this list, do me a solid. Smash that like button, and if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my weekly recs for Netflix, Prime, Max, and all the rest. Seriously, that's the best way to make sure I keep putting out these killer videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see all you all on the next one.